We're finally gonna do the Star Wars episode series of Love and Deep Space. We're gonna do Caleb Imperial Thronesong, and as you can tell by the title, this sounds really freaky, and I am possibly too asexual for this. But let's go. Gonna go to a galaxy far, far away with Oppa. Yes. What if a heart were just a little bigger than the entire universe? Lorne Galaxy, starport number 7. Quick, seal the main bridge's blast door. Those Empire bastards have already taken control of the secondary command center.
가장 가까운 우주선에 즉시 연락해. 하 총사령관님이 반드시 올 테니까.
Send a message to the nearest starship immediately. High Marshal Caleb will be here soon. One of her Imperial guards takes down the last soldier standing. The Imperial Guard captain gives her a laser firearm and she slowly raises it. She aims at the mechanical lock located in the center of the blast doors. MC is shooting at doorknobs again. So dangerous. The bridge's blast doors spring open, releasing a cloud of frosty white vapor.
폐하, 연방병사 전원 제압되었습니다. 이 우주선은 이제 폐하의 것입니다.
All Federation soldiers have been subdued. This starship now belongs to you. Wait a minute. So you're telling me, after her coronation and the dance and everything, she decided to invade the Federation? Oh my god, what is the timeline?
신호 전파를 미리 차단했으니 연방총사령관은 아무리 빨라도 사흘 뒤에나 관련 소식을 들을 수 있을 겁니다.
We jammed their comms in advance. The Federation's High Marshal won't learn of this for at least 3 days.
제국의 후속 함대가 일주일 안으로 도착할 예정으로 폐하를 모성으로 안전히 호송할 것입니다.
The Empire's reinforcements will arrive within 1 week to escort you safely back to our home planet. Peak raccoon activity, right? She surveys the area, walks past a broken Federation insignia on the ground, and gives a slight nod. The Federation dared to touch my belongings. This starship will serve as their reparation. Oh, so maybe they attacked first? 2 weeks ago, she received word that Empress's Roar, an Imperial transport ship, had been seized by the Federation while passing through starport number 7. Oh. So, okay. He struck first. Alright, fair. The Empire and the Federation were always at odds with each other due to various conflicts, although battles large and small are commonplace. To blatantly overstep their jurisdiction within a starport in a neutral space zone was unmistakably a provocation. Not to mention, the Empress's Roar was carrying gifts from various overlords for her coronation. Wait, so she's not crowned yet? I'm so confused. What is the timeline? Have the guards inventory the warehouse. Record everything that's missing or damaged. Isn't the High Marshal still recovering from his injuries? I'll send him a letter of concern in 3 days. Injuries? Now he's injured? Oh my god, everything is happening at such a quick pace. I'm so confused. Imagining the expression on his face when he receives it makes her smile. Include a reparation invoice as well.
폐하의 뜻대로 하겠습니다.
I shall do as you wish. She's not Emperor yet? Yeah, she's not Emperor yet, apparently. I'm confused. She asked him... So this is before? This is before the whole event? I'm so confused. After the guards leave, she walks into the depths of the starship's cabin. Her fingers trail over an exquisite ornate double-edged dagger on the table. Doesn't seem to be amongst my presence. The footsteps behind her resound almost simultaneously with the hum of a laser firearm charging to its maximum output. She spins and raises her hand. The trigger is set to maximum power. But the man she's aiming at only raises an eyebrow. With a flick of his finger, the firearm traces 2 silver arcs in his palm. He tosses it to the attendant beside him as if discarding a boring toy. You assume before Order 66. Behind him, dozens of Federation soldiers in pure black uniforms have sealed off all exits in the corridor. They bow their heads to him in sequence.
여왕 폐하께서는 정말 하나도 안 변하셨네.
Your Majesty truly hasn't changed a bit.
자기 물건에 다른 사람이 눈길만 줘도 화가 나서 이렇게 외진 은하까지 특별히 달려오다니.
She sounds like a spoiled brat. When it comes to your belongings, one wrong glance would send you flying into a rage. You even made a trip to this remote galaxy. No wonder the starship's defenses were so weak. She anticipated the Federation would have a backup plan, but she didn't expect Caleb to appear in person. The Imperial guards still needed time to form a counterattack. She needs to stall him for now. The same can be said about the High Marshal, no? I heard you sustained minor injuries, but it looks as though you're all right.
네가 모처럼 제국 주성을 떠났는데 당연히 내가 직접 맞이해야 마음이 놓이지.
You rarely leave your Imperial planet, so of course I had to personally welcome you to make sure everything was all right. Caleb smiles as he raises his finger, and the Federation soldier's weapons simultaneously turn to her.
나의 친애하는 동생.
My beloved little sister. Oh my god! It's begun!
이미 아련실에서 기다리고 있습니다.
Your Majesty, the nobles are waiting in the audience hall.
폐하의 여왕호가 제지된 사건을 누군가 의도적으로 소문을 퍼뜨린 것 같습니다.
As for the interception of the Empress's roar, someone leaked the intel. However, we don't know who.
현재 연방의 해명을 요구해야 한다며 여론이 들끓고 있습니다.
They're riled up and saying we must demand an explanation from the Federation. The Empire and the Federation have been at war for centuries. We don't need an excuse. And the nobles don't want an explanation. They want to see the new ruler's position and capabilities. A ray of sunlight falls on the flowers in the vase. She sets down the stems in her hand and gestures for the maid to clean up the scattered leaves. They should pay the price for daring to target what's mine. She pauses and recalls the interstellar news report from a few days ago about the attack on the High Marshal in the capital. She's afraid Caleb's life in the Federation isn't always as glorious and carefree as she thought it was. He most likely doesn't have the energy to manage starport-related affairs at the moment. This is the perfect opportunity for me to take the initiative. She sits up and takes the robe the maid offers her. The Nebulasia apples at Starport number 7 are in full bloom, yes? I plan to visit them myself. Unfortunately, having a plan is one matter, but the changes brought about by Caleb's appearance are another story. More than 10 dots from the laser sight appear before her. More than 10 dots from the laser sight appear around her? Laser sight? Okay. She faces them head on and takes 2 steps. That sounded like more than 2, but alright. Killing me is easy, but did you think about how you'll handle the aftermath? Although I'm the Empire's Empress, there are plenty of potential heirs to choose from once I die. She shrugs, lowers her weapon, and smiles. My successor might not be interested in playing these childish games with you. Oh, childhood games with you. Really leaning into the childhood thing. Alright.
여왕 폐하랑 그냥 장난 좀 쳐본 거야.
I was just playing a joke on your majesty. Caleb waves his hand and the guns behind him are immediately lowered.
스타포트에서 무기 밀매의 흔적이 발견됐어. 연방은 성간 평화를 위해 론 은하의 조사에 협조하고 있고.
Traces of weapons smuggling appeared at the starport, and the Federation is assisting the Lorne Galaxy with its investigation. It's all for the sake of interstellar peace.
만약 정말 무력 행동이 발생한다면 성간 운송의 안정성에 직접적인 위협이 될 거야.
If armed conflict were to break out, it would threaten the safety of shipping routes. Let's set aside the matter of peace. If the Lorne Galaxy sought help from the Federation, that would be a reasonable justification. As a shipping hub at the center of their known cosmos, its stability affects the interests of many galaxies.
성주들이 너에게 준 그 작은 선물들도 운송 사고로 전부 파괴될지도 모르지.
Those small gifts the overlords offered to you might very well be destroyed in some transportation accident.
온 제국을 소나기에 쥔 여왕 폐하라고 하더라도 조금은 속상하지 않겠어?
Even your majesty, who owns the entire empire, would feel that minor wound. Am I right? Since you know this, you shouldn't have interfered with my private transport spacecraft. You know very well I won't let this slide. Or are you saying you went through all this trouble just to lure me here for the sightseeing? Caleb approaches her and picks up the double-edged dagger, but he makes no move to slide it back into the sheath at his side.
대관식 이후로 정말 오랫동안 못 만났지.
It's been a long time since we saw each other
살짝 보고
after...
싶었어, 동생아.
Okay, hang on. Okay. It's been a long time since we last saw each other after your coronation. I missed you, little sister. I'm dying.
살짝 보고 싶었어, 동생아.
He said that so softly too. What? I missed you. Okay. Wow. When he says that last word, the last word they didn't put in the English, by the way, the word they did not include in the English, his lips are almost pressed against her ear. Only she can hear a familiar hint of playfulness. Her finger curls around the loaded laser firearm as she lowers her gaze. Caleb is the person closest to me, but at this moment, he and the Federation are the Empire's greatest enemy. If I want to secure my position as Empress, I will inevitably cross swords with him. Fire the gun and kill Caleb! Wait, why is that an option? I kind of want to choose it because it's funny, but like, what will happen? Drop the weapon and feign sympathy. I feel like it's not very in character, but I'm just so curious about what happens if you choose fire the gun and kill Caleb. Okay, I doubt this will happen, but various thoughts swirl through her mind, and at long last she seizes the clearest one. Then tell him it's just a prank. Regardless of our circumstances, he's my older brother, so naturally he belongs to me. I can't believe that's a line. Okay. Rather than let someone else kill him, I'd rather do it myself. MC is insane! Oh my, she's very possessed. What? I know! The laser firearm's barrel is knocked away just before the beam is fired. It grazes Caleb's shoulder and strikes the porthole behind him. With an expressionless face, he sheathes his dagger and glances at where his blade cut her.
네가 예전 일에 대해 이야기를 더 나누고 싶어 할 줄 알았는데.
I thought you would want to talk about the old days. The wound isn't deep. In fact, it's more of a warning. She presses down on her wrist to stop the bleeding. Caleb raises his arm. The Federation soldiers who aimed at her again have received the signal to step back. They clear a path for her.
네 여왕호를 타고 떠나. 다음엔 경고로 끝나지 않을 거야.
Take your Empress's roar and leave. I won't give you a warning next time. Raccoon logic. I know! Oh my god! MC is so toxic. I don't know how we're gonna make it through this. I'm already cracking up, and it's only been 13 minutes. She was young back then. Grand ambitions and confidence could sustain her as she walked this path alone. She turned and left the bridge. She didn't look back, not even once. War broke out once more. It wasn't any different from the wars between the Empire and the Federation over the past hundreds of years. Caleb and she, at distant ends of the cosmos, lived and died in futility. The heavens could only eternally spin in vain. In cosmic year 649, the meeting between the Empire's Empress and Caleb, leader of the Federation, ultimately ended in discord. They once grew up together in the Imperial court. Separated, they rose to power in two great galaxies to create their own era of prosperity. But as they ruled, the accumulated grievances between the Empire and the Federation failed to be resolved and worsened. They spent their entire lives restraining each other. They never achieved reconciliation. Excerpt from the Star's brief history. Ooh. Okay, so there are two endings. So that was the bad ending, I think. Okay, so if you choose to shoot Caleb, you get the short ending. All right. That's fine. Let's do the other choice in which we don't try to shoot him immediately. Okay, all right. Drop the weapon and feign sympathy this time. She drops her weapon and links arms with Caleb. Her smile slowly widens. Regardless of what the future holds, this game-like power struggle has only just begun. She plans to savor it for a long time. What? Girl, what? I missed you too. Before I came here, I heard Nebulasia apples bloom beautifully. Would you like to accompany me to see them? He puts his arm around her while sheathing his dagger.
마침 잘 됐네.
Good answer.
구경하기 좋은 장소를 알거든.
I know the perfect spot. To view them. You're sure MC is insane? Kind of. A little bit. Maybe. Inside an observation room, the metal hatch slowly closes behind them. They're the only ones there. Caleb recommended they head to the top of the starport's highest tower. From the window, one can see the Nebulasia apples in their entirety.
여왕의 옷차림, 너랑 잘 어울려.
The attire of an empress suits you well. Weren't you threatening me with firearms earlier? You changed your tune awfully quick.
화났어?
Are you angry? He removes his sidearm, grips her hand, and places it over the weapon's handle. Two different temperatures simultaneously envelop her palm. Oh my god. What is he doing? What are they doing?
아니면 너도 그걸 쥐고 날 겁줘도 돼.
You could hold it and threaten me. You think I won't shoot?
넌 안 쏠 거야.
You won't. His fingers glide across her wrist and trail down her arm to reach her back. The rough texture makes her breath hitch for a moment.
어쨌든 어릴 때부터 너랑 이런 남매놀이를 해온 오빠는 결국 나 하나뿐이잖아.
In the end, I'm still the only one who's played these games with you since childhood.
너도 나랑 마찬가지로 이걸 빨리 끝내고 싶지는 않을 거야.
And my guess is that you don't want this to end too soon either. It depends on what we can give each other during this time. What is this dialogue? I'm so confused. She hugs Caleb back. Her breath caresses his neck. The Nebulasia apple flowers at the starport are beautiful. I like them.
그럼 시간 날 때 자주 와.
Then you can come visit more
얼마든지
often.
너랑 같이 봐줄 수 있으니까.
I can keep you company for as long as you want to look at them. She narrows her eyes and pretends to accidentally step on his foot. You've forgotten that what I like must belong to me. But as long as you let go, in time, I can let bygones be bygones. Maybe the relationship between the Federation and the Empire could be mended through us. However, it was never good to begin with. Caleb shows no signs of loosening his grip. Instead, he picks up a strand of her hair and twirls it around his finger.
내가 아직도 네 성격을 모를 줄 알아?
Do you think I don't know
이번에
you?
우세를 점하지 못해서 기분이 안 좋겠지.
You're upset because you didn't get the upper hand this time.
내 생각엔 제국의 다른 함대가 이미 오는 길일 것 같네.
I think another Imperial fleet must
내가
already be
지금
on its way
사람들을
here.
데리고 스타포트에서 철수한다면 아마 네 예정이 아니라 앞뒤로 오는 협공을 마주하겠지.
Withdrawing now probably won't help us reach a reconciliation. I think your plan is to capture me in a pincer move. Her thoughts have been exposed, so she cuts to the chase. On behalf of the Empire, I can promise to not act against you, on the condition that you leave immediately. No words leave his mouth. Then he flicks the accessory on her cloak, which is embedded with the cryostylus he gave her. The crystal is only formed in the cold ring zones that are created when two nearby stars collapse simultaneously. Despite being on the market, it's always been priceless. One day, Caleb somehow got word from somewhere and piloted a long-haul vessel alone through a cold ring zone to find a crystal. Wow. She remembers his smile when he brought it back. He said his job is to always bring her everything she wants. But what if they want the same thing?
네 함대가 오려면 얼마나 걸리려나? 일주일? 내 사람들은 이틀이면 돼.
How long will it take for your fleet to arrive? A week? My people only need 2 days. You saw the title you put in the live stream? Yeah, that's Beck's title.
연방이 위치한 나즈 은하에 도착하려면 7번 스타포트가 가장 가까운 항구야.
It might be a bit
우리가
long.
반드시 차지해야 해.
It might be a bit long, but I think that's also going to be the title for the video once I post this. But because this is insane. Starport number 7 is the closest location for reaching the Nizir galaxy, where the Federation is located. We must control it at all costs.
필요하다면 차라리 파괴하더라도 제국이 통제하도록 두지는 않을 거야.
If worse comes to worse, we'll destroy it. It's better than letting the Empire control it. Or we won't let the Empire
이런
control it.
결과를 원해서 네가 여기까지 온 건 분명 아닐 텐데.
You probably didn't want that outcome when you came. He's correct. Also, we haven't had an Oppa because I'm reading in English, but he has called her little sister twice. And both of them quite intimately. She's here with the intention of displaying an alliance with the Empire's nobles to confront a common enemy. It's so she can win over some of the loyalty she needs for her reign. Starting a war isn't difficult, but winning without fighting. She also doesn't want her subjects to remember her as a warmonger empress, especially since she's ascended the throne. Just ascended the throne. Contemplating the current situation, she pulls away from his embrace. Oh yes, and he's already kissed her. Twice in how long? Twice in it's been 23 minutes, but I did pick the bad ending route first. He called her that twice within 15 minutes at most. Let's compromise then. The Imperial fleet and the Federation's garrison both retreat. Everyone will be able to coexist peacefully. She missed the Oppa kiss? Yes, he literally just kissed her too. And he's referring to their childhood. So this is wild. There's a bad ending. You're so gonna kill Zane again. Yeah, so what I did, so like if you play this card, apparently early in, you get 2 choices. And one of them was just very intriguing. It was shoot and kill Caleb. So we did. He doesn't die, but it does lead to the bad ending, and it leads there pretty fast. So now we're doing the second route where I guess you don't try to kill him right away. Let's see what happens on this route. This one should be longer.
동생아, 네가 오해한 것 같은데 나는 너랑 협상을 하는 게 아니야.
Little sister, you seem to have misunderstood me. I'm not here to negotiate. Their little sister again. Third time.
스타포트의 총독이 이미 정식으로 사임서를 제출했고 론 은하는 연방이 추천한 새로운 인선을 받아들였어.
The Starport's Viceroy. Oh my god.
바로 아까 우리가 꽃 구경했을 때.
The Starport's Viceroy submitted his resignation, and the Lorne Galaxy has accepted the new candidate who was recommended by the Federation. It happened while we were viewing the flowers. Oh my god! He's sneaky. The logic MC used to kill him, it was crazy. Yes, so you get a peek into MC's mind before she kills him, and her thoughts are, well, Caleb belongs to me. No, not even just precious to me. No, it wasn't like that. She was literally like, just like everything else in this galaxy, Caleb belongs to me. So, better I kill him than let someone else do it. Oh, no, it was, no. Oh god, it was even worse. I forgot the beginning part. He's my brother, so he belongs to me. There we go. Oh god. What? Caleb leans in. Holy smokes, she really is unhinged. She's so unhinged. Caleb leans in, his voice softly brushing past her ear.
시간을 끄는 게 너뿐이라고 누가 그래?
Who said you were the only one buying time? Caleb, you've truly become a convenient blade for the Federation. A dull pain spreads from the side of her neck. She reaches out to push him away, but he catches her wrist first.
이런 걸 말하는 거지?
Are you talking about this? How dare you? She struggles and Caleb's arms tighten around her.
론 은하는 난기류가 자주 일어나니까 네 함대가 도착한 후에 너를 모성으로 호송할게.
The Lorne Galaxy is frequently plagued by turbulence. It's better to wait for your fleet to arrive so they can escort you back to your home planet.
며칠 동안은 오빠랑 편하게 이야기나 나누자.
For the next few days, just relax and chat with me. His kiss descends without warning. He did say Oppa. Did you hear the Oppa? Let's see how many Beotropes this activates. MC would already be a toxic bottom. She's so toxic. Yes. He says, chat with Oppa. Yeah. Okay. Amidst an entanglement of lips and teeth. Oh god. She bites his lower lip. She only feels satisfied when the metallic taste of blood fills her mouth. Jesus Christ! What kind of kiss is this? Maybe it's good that they're not they're not like recording the sound to this. It's a deep kiss. It's a deep kiss and there's biting and blood. She is a raccoon. Oh, never mind. Never mind what I said about not recording the sound. Never mind. Then he took what he wanted. This is the lightest price he'll have to pay. I think I need a tetanus booster. It's a deep space. Okay.
이건 여왕폐하께서 가장 좋아하시는 망토잖아.
This is Her Majesty's favorite cloak. Let go of it.
꽃병, 여왕폐의 꽃병을 지켜.
The vases, protect her vases.
전부 다 가져와.
Bring the cushions from the other rooms. Shortly after the fleet escorted her back to her home planet, which is in the Empire, Caleb's apology gift has arrived. Currently, they're brazenly digging up the ground in her greenhouse's garden while making incomprehensible strange noises.
지금 씹고 있는 거 마지막으로 남은 성운 해당어 같은데.
The thing they're chewing on, it's the last Nebulesia apple.
배야, 이 테리어는 성격이 너무 짓궂은 듯한데 연방 총사령관이 좋은 뜻으로 보낸 건 아닌 것 같습니다.
He sent her a pet? Your Majesty, this bitter pup has a stubborn, unruly temperament. I believe the High Marshal sent them here with ill intentions. He sent her a pest.
차라리 걔를 훈련시키는 담당 총관에게 보내서 최소한의 규칙을 가르치는 게 낫겠습니다.
Why don't we send the creature to the headmaster? It's better if they learn some manners. That's unnecessary. She looks at the chaotic state of the garden they're in, and she raises her hand to stop the secretary from saying more. They're a mischievous pup who can't possibly tear down my palace. On her way back to the Empire, she came up with the rough beginnings of a plan for her retaliation. She just needs an opportunity. The Interstellar Starfaring Summit is about to be held in the Empire. Caleb has to arrive as a representative of the Federation. His starship will encounter a small problem, which means he won't be able to arrive on time. He'll have no choice but to ask me for help. What is... Are you allowed to use the Empire's resources to, like... What's the word? To fund your feud against your older brother? Well, I guess if you're Empress, you can do whatever the fuck you want. So he stole a galaxy from her and apologized afterwards with a cheeky, bloody kiss. Yes. Well, it only became bloody because of her. Remember during the event, she had a pet bed next to hers and it had a collar and leash attached to it? You definitely thought it was for the various boys. Yeah, no, apparently it's for the pet that someone gives her. I'll have them guard my bedchamber. When their former master apologizes to me, they can help me deliver a message. Vader did it all the time. In Cosmic Year 129, people dissatisfied with the Cosmic Empire left the Allure Galaxy. They announced they would establish their own nation in the Nizar Galaxy. Thus, the Glory Federation was born. The Federation opened its doors to all of the Empire's opponents. Within several decades, it rapidly grew into the Empire's most powerful adversary. Dang! Imagine that enough people, like, hate your imperialist ass so much that they just form a whole new federation against you. Dang. In Cosmic Year 150, the Empire formally declared war on the Federation, and so, for hundreds of years, the flames of conflict never ceased. Both sides claimed victories and defeats, but the two greatest galaxies always maintained a delicate balance. Neither could completely shake the other's foundation. How did they grow up together, and then he ended up the Federation? Did he defect? Was he like fuck imperialism? Well, in which case, I kind of can't be too upset, you know, about Caleb. You think that's America to the UK? Yeah, maybe. In Cosmic Year 642, a young man who grew up in the Imperial court voluntarily switched sides and went to the Federation to study. And then he was radicalized. At that time, no one knew that this young man who rose to the position of High Marshal in just 5 years would change the entire cosmos. Parents saw him smooching her and sent him off to boarding school. Honestly, that is probably what happened. They were like, no, bad. Exit from the star's brief history. 2 months later. But before changing the cosmos, there was another important matter awaiting this young man's attention. His unexpected absence from last evening's summit, which has been held in the Empire, is a result of bidding on the Lorne Galaxy's long-haul vessels. Bad Oppa.
개인적인 사유로 인해 유감스럽게도 이번 항행 정상회담에 참석하지 못했습니다.
Due to personal reasons, I will regrettably be absent for this Interstellar Starfaring Summit.
이 자리에서 회의에 참석하신 모든 분들과 이번 회의를 주최하신 코스모 제국의 여왕폐하께 진심으로 사과드립니다.
I hereby extend my sincerest apologies to all participants and to the organizer of this conference, the Empress of the Cosmic Empire. You're leaving for a bit and a shower. Okay, let's see what nonsense you come back to. Several ministers are already visibly delighted before the holographic report on Astro News ends.
역시 폐하께서 예측하신 대로
It's as you predicted.
연방은 그들의 우주선에
Or planned.
기술적 결함이 있다는 사실을 인정할 수 없었나 봅니다.
It's as you planned. The Federation would never admit that their starships experienced technical malfunction.
작은 부품 하나만 바꿨을 뿐인데 그들이 자랑스럽게 여기는 항법 시스템이 먹통이 될 줄 누가 생각이나 했겠습니까?
Who would have thought that replacing one small component would make their superior navigation system malfunction?
론 은하의 대표는 제국과 연방에 팔고 싶었던 신형 원양함을 입찰하여 이익을 얻고자 했습니다.
Representatives from the Lorne Galaxy want the Empire and the Federation to bid for the new long-haul vessel so they can gain a profit.
이번에 연방이 불참했으니 저희 쪽에서는 1억 우주화폐를 더 절약할 수 있을 것으로 예상됩니다.
Since the Federation is absent, we predict we'll be able to save 100 million cosmic credits.
폐하께서는 역시 현명하십니다.
Your Majesty is truly wise. Oh my god. In a good mood, she taps the armrest of her throne while accepting the minister's flattery. Let's secure Lorne's long-haul vessel production line for the next 3 years before the Federation realizes what's happening. Caleb will get a taste of returning empty-handed this time. After everyone leaves, she reopens the news report from earlier and waves her hand to rewind it by several seconds. Then she takes a screenshot. This obedient, apologetic expression is a rare sight. I'll send it to Caleb later so he can see it for himself. Yeah, MC is nuts. As she leaves the audience hall, the overcast sky doesn't affect her good mood in the slightest. In the corridor, Taby, whose name was found inscribed on the inside of their collar, is enthusiastically chewing on their beloved toy. They happily bound over to her feet once they see her approach. She picks up the toy, holds it in her hand, and playfully teases Taby. You're well behaved. I'll give you an extra treat later. Their short tail is wagging even faster now. I guess they understand human speak. Ooh, it's raining. As raindrops suddenly fall, she scoops up Taby and heads to the nearest greenhouse for shelter. The greenhouse has long since been renovated. Plants extend outward with their leaves to release the season's distinctive fragrance. Subconsciously, she makes her way around to a flower wall. Sure enough, she spots that familiar white bench. It looks exactly the same as before. Back then, Caleb and I would often whisper here. Why is whisper in quotes? What were they actually doing? Oh my god, flashbacks! Wait, is that a new outfit? Has he worn this before? Flowers bloom abundantly in the greenhouse. They avoided the maids by hiding in the blossom's shade. Must you go to that weird academy?
글로리 연방 성간 지휘 아카데미야. 우주 최고의 군사 학교지.
It's the Glory Federation's Interstellar Military Academy. It's the best military school in the galaxy.
입학 우표는 너도 이미 다 봤잖아. 날 위해서 관심 없음 칸에 특별히 표시까지 해줬고.
You saw the acceptance email a long time ago, didn't you? And you even filed it under not interested. She pretends not to notice the teasing in his tone and plucks a wilted flower from the corner. The Federation despises Imperial citizens. They might never let you graduate.
걱정 마. 나는 중립 행성의 후계자 신분으로 가는 거니까 일부러 나를 괴롭히는 사람은 없을 거야.
Don't worry, I'll be going there as a neutral planet's heir. No one will cause trouble. But if you go to the Federation, you'll have to start over.
처음부터 시작해서 총사령관 자리에 앉는 것도 재밌을 것 같지 않아?
But starting from the bottom to reach the position of High Marshal sounds exciting, doesn't it? But if she becomes the High Marshal... Sorry, if you become the High Marshal, you won't be just my Caleb anymore. She furrows her brow and he pokes a space between her worry lines.
하지만이라니, 설마 너 오빠를 못 믿는 거야? 나중에 네가 여왕이 되고 내가 총사령관이 되면 우리가 제국과 연방의 현 상황을 바꿀 수 있을지도 몰라.
I heard another Oppa. What do you mean by but? Are you saying that you don't trust Oppa? When you're the Empress and I'm the High Marshal, we can change the current relationship between the Empire and the Federation. Who knows if that will be the case? When you leave, I won't be able to talk to anyone.
그럴 일은 없어.
That won't happen.
너는 미래의 여왕이니까
You're the future Empress.
많은 사람들이 너의 환심을 사려고 최선을 다할 거야.
There will be many people who will want to win over your favor. He bends down to pick a Nebulosia apple from the flower bed and pins it to her collar.
이 꽃처럼 아무리 희귀하더라도 네가 더 많이 바라봐주면 영원히 네 정원에서 피어날 거야.
Just like this flower, regardless of its rarity, all you need to do is look at it a little longer and it shall bloom forever in your garden. I know, but they can be tiresome sometimes. They're nothing compared to you.
권력을 얻으면 항상 작은 불편은 감수해야 하는 법이야.
Power always means enduring some minor
그래도 내
inconveniences.
앞에서는 언제나 제멋대로인 여동생이어도 돼.
But with me, you can always be that willful little sister.
난 이제 한 달 뒤면 떠나는데
I'm leaving in a month.
선물 목록에 있는 거 말고 다른 건 뭐 원하는 거 없어?
Aside from your gift list, is there anything that you want? Hi! I'm assuming that's Dexy. Anything?
뭐든 괜찮아.
Yes, anything is okay. Why did he have to say it like that? What's she gonna ask for? Summer flowers and fruits have ripened, their rich fragrance mingling with an intense desire. Before you leave, please satisfy me. What? See what? MC, what do you mean? She tilts her head up and kisses his lips for the first time. That's their first kiss? Back then, she had no idea what she wanted to taste. What am I reading? What am I reading? Her scattered thoughts return to the present. She looks at the petals she unconsciously plucked and brushes them aside. Perhaps Caleb and she had already taken different paths to build their own lives since the beginning. She believes that even though they might have instances of nostalgia, neither of them would question the choices they made. I just don't know when we'll see each other again.
배야, 연방 총사령관이 도착했습니다.
Come on, pick me up. I'm scared. Your Majesty, the High Marshal has arrived. Oh God. Wait, he's here? How? I thought they fucked up his transportation. But he did say he's not going to attend the thingy. Somehow, Caleb has arrived in the Empire before the Interstellar Starfaring Summit ended. The fact that he left the other galaxy representatives behind to see her makes it difficult to determine his real purpose, however.
이 은쟁반 처음에 너한테 줬을 때 장식이 너무 소박해서 싫어하지 않았어? 그런데 아직도 쓰고 있네.
Didn't you complain? Sorry. Didn't you complain that the silver tray was too plain when I gave it to you? But you're still using it. I forgot to throw it away. This girl.
그 안에 놓여 있는 아포 열매를
As for those
제철
apple
과일로
fruits,
바꿔달라고 하는 것도 확실히 잊었나 보네.
you must have forgotten to have someone replace them with more seasonal ones. They're just fruits. If you like them, you can take some back. The High Marshal still insisted on visiting the Empire even though the Interstellar Starfaring Summit is about to end. Are you planning to apologize to me in person?
먼저 나한테 애프터눈 티를 청한 건 여왕폐하 아니었나?
Aren't you the one who invited me to
잠시
afternoon
얘기하자.
tea first? Let's chat while we drink. The Empire and the Federation aren't on friendly terms, but since Caleb is visiting during the summit, she still needs to fulfill her duties as a hostess. Seeing him hold his teacup with a leisurely attitude, she feels as though he's returned to his own garden. I should have made him wait longer in the audience hall. The chairs there are the most uncomfortable. She's such a petulant brat. The attendants lead Taby away, but she doesn't overlook the way their tail wags with a particular enthusiasm. Ah, you raised them. They still remember you after so long.
너는 나를 거의 잊어버린 것 같아 보이는데?
Yet it seems like you've
아니면
completely
제국의
forgotten me.
통신 신호가 너무 안 좋아서 2달 동안이나 네 소식을 하나도 못 들은 건가?
Or is the Empire's communication system so poor that not even one message from you could get through in 2 months? I have my own matters to deal with. Caleb nods noncommittally, sets down his teacup, and rests one hand against the side of his face.
여왕폐하께서는 당연히 일과가 많으시겠지.
Yes, your majesty would
그래서
be
그동안 주로
occupied with
바빴던
many
일이
matters.
나를 상대하는 거였나?
So, have you been too busy to retaliate against me? Before she can counter, he continues speaking, but he's not making any accusations.
이번 계획은 나쁘지 않았어.
The plan this time
손을
wasn't
쓴
bad.
사람도 아주 신중해서 하마터면 나조차도 거의 단서를 잡지 못할 뻔했어.
The people who executed it were very careful. I almost didn't find any evidence. Almost.
하지만 네가 좀 더 제대로 했다면
But if you had done it more correctly or properly, sorry, if you had done it
나는
more
아마
properly,
고장난 항법 시스템 때문에 자기장 난류 속에서 길을 잃고 죽은 첫 번째 총사령관이 됐을 거야.
I could have been the first High Marshal to get lost and die in magnetic field disturbance due to a navigation system failure. She picks up a pastry and feigns the perfect amount of surprise. Oh, I thought you said you were absent due to personal reasons. Using such an excuse at the last minute to implicate the Empire would be too obvious. People from the other galaxies wouldn't believe it.
그래서 역시나 넌 홀로그램 앞에서 내가 얼굴을 비추길 기다리고 있었구나.
So you were waiting for me to show up in the hologram.
오는 길에 시간이 좀 걸렸지만 다행히 아직 기다려줬네.
I took some time to get here, but of course, you were waiting. Like a magician, he produces a bouquet of flowers. She's stunned. You took the time to prepare this?
어차피 늦었으니까
I was already late,
차라리 좀 더 늦게 나타나는 게 더 네 마음에 들 것 같아서.
so I figured showing up later would be more to your liking. That's not what I wanted. The familiar floral fragrance drifts past them. Despite their current circumstances, it stirs distant memories and softens her heart.
예전에 제국에 있을 때 우리도 이런저런 일로 자주 다퉜었지.
When you and I lived in the Empire, we
네가
used to butt
어리기도 했고,
heads over various things.
나도 네 응석을 다 받아주기도 했고.
You were
가끔
younger, and I
네가
spoiled
말도 안
you.
되는 말을 해도 그래. 너한테는 항상 이유가 있었겠지만
Hang on. You were younger and I spoiled you. There were times when you were in the wrong. That's right. I guess you would have had your reasons. That's a little different, I think.
너는 사과를 안 하고
You didn't
나라고
apologize,
항상 네 기분을 풀어줄 시간이 있던 것도 아니었지만
and I would have to
우리
relieve
둘
your
다
feelings.
서로를 떠날 수 없었어.
But neither of us could leave each other. It's a codependent relationship.
그래서 그때 우리는 약속 하나를 했지.
And so we made a promise at that time. Whenever one of them wanted to make up to the other, they'd place a flower by that person's pillow. The person who receives the flower must forgive the other before it wilts.
이 약속이 지금도 유효한지 알고 싶어서 온 거야.
I came here because I wanted to know if that promise still held.
그리고 우리가 대표하고 있는 연방과 제국이 여전히 협력할 가능성이 있는지도.
And whether the Federation and the Empire still have a chance at reconciliation. Although she's surprised, she only raises her eyebrow and signals for him to continue.
연방과 제국은 실제로 생사를 걸고 다툼을 벌였지.
The Federation and Empire have been mired in conflicts where survival itself was at stake.
하지만 수백 년이 지나면서 이 힘겨루기는 이미 불필요한 습관이 되어버렸어.
But after hundreds of years, this struggle has long since become a pointless habit.
작게는 충돌해서 크게는 전쟁까지 하면서 매번 무한하지 않은 자원을 소모하지.
From minor clashes
다른
to
세력들을
wars,
배불리면서 말이야.
each one of them consumes a finite resources while others prosper. It's not as if she hasn't considered the matters he speaks of. The tension between the Empire and the Federation stems from more people maneuvering beneath the surface. They create a turbulent undercurrent that never stops. But if going with the flow takes the least effort, why should she position herself as a reef? Since there will always be those who profit from conflict, any attempt for a collaboration would face significant resistance. I don't necessarily have to oppose you, but I also don't want to invite trouble.
전쟁이 터지도록 내버려두면
If you let war fester,
네가 여왕 노릇하기가 더 편해질 것 같아?
will it be easier for you as Empress?
너보다 앞서 있었던 왕이 바로 내 손에 패배해서 결국 제국에 버려진 존재가 됐다는 걸 잊지 마.
Don't forget, oh wow, don't forget that I defeated the ruler before you, who ultimately became the Empire's discarded pawn. Wait, she didn't become Empress just because she was like a princess or something? What happened? Caleb continues to speak in a measured, persuasive manner, but she detects a hint of something suspicious. You're confident you can defeat me. Why are you actively proposing cooperation?
제국에는 많은 후계자들이 있지만 나한테 너라는 동생은 하나밖에 없는데 왜 너를 편애하지 않겠어?
Oh my god. Welcome back, Beck. What did you miss? You missed their first kiss. She had a flashback to their first kiss. She initiated it, by the way. And he just said, the Empire has many heirs, but you're the only baby sister that I have. So why wouldn't I favor you? Oh my god. I don't really understand how they choose the emperor/empress for the nation. I guess the previous one wasn't necessarily her father. Why was she was chosen instead of him, I suppose? Did he depose the previous emperor so that she would become empress? I'm so confused. So lost. It's her fault. I don't believe you. That being said, she's also aware of how Caleb's proposal is worth considering. He finishes his last sip of tea and shows no urgency as he waits for her response.
그러고 보니까
Come to
우리
think of it,
같이 여행한 지도 오래됐네.
it's been a while since we went on
이번에
a
길을
trip.
잃으면서 발견한 두 번째 장소가 있는데 같이 가볼래?
Do you
네가
want to?
좋아할 거야.
I found a few interesting things when I was lost. Do you want to take a look at them? I think it'll be interesting. The long-haul vessel cuts to the edge of the cosmos and traverses star clusters and multiple warp points before arriving at the outermost edge of the Lorne galaxy. Interstellar dust gradually increases during the latter half of the journey. Caleb steers with precision to avoid countless obstacles. Okay, he's a pilot again.
오는 길에 연습을 좀 해둬서 다행이네. 아니었으면 널 태우고 이렇게 비행할 수 없었을 거야.
Okay, so apparently he went away to study at the Federation with the intent of becoming High Marshal, so they could try to reconcile things between the two empires. He wanted to be the same rank as her in order to court her more. Like, honestly, yeah, this is so many toxic romance tropes. You know what I mean? Oh my god. Luckily, I was able to practice on the way here. I wouldn't dare to take you on a flight like this otherwise. I think it gave you the perfect opportunity to show off your piloting skills in front of your subordinates.
그것도 맞네.
That's right.
괜히 사람들이
That's right as well.
여동생은 오빠에게 따뜻함을 주는 존재라고 하는 게 아니야.
Oh my god.
그것도 맞네. 괜히 사람들이 여동생은 오빠에게 따뜻함을 주는 존재라고 하는 게 아니야.
Yeah, basically, that's why people say that little sisters are heartwarming existences to their oppas. Okay.
역시 다정해.
As expected, you truly are kind. Okay. During their conversation, the vessel gradually slows down.
도착했어.
We've arrived. All around them are dust clouds that obscure their vision and churning nebular storms. She looks at Caleb. He stares at the observation display, his wrist moving as he slowly adjusts the altitude.
이번에 길을 잃으면서 행성 지도에 표시되지 않은 워프 지점을 우연히 발견했어.
When I got lost, I coincidentally discovered some warp points
그곳을
that weren't on the map.
비라티오라고 이름 지었어.
I named this area
숨겨진
Vilitio.
장소라는 뜻이야.
It means hidden place. We're already close to the edge of the Loran galaxy. If we go any further... She stops, realizing why Caleb brought her here. Loran is connected to Allure and Nazir. It serves as a buffer zone between the Empire and the Federation and is the central hub of the known cosmos. But beyond that exist countless unknown places that have never been explored.
네가 생각하는 것처럼 이 워프 지점은 아마도 미지의 은하로 통할 거야.
Just as you're thinking, this warp point might lead to an unknown star system.
그게 가져다 줄 수 있는 가치는 어떤 전쟁보다도 훨씬 크지.
The value it could bring far exceeds a single war.
공동의 이익은 모든 증오를 해소할 수 있어. 연방과 제국 사이에서도 마찬가지고.
Shared interests can resolve hatred. The same principle can be applied to the Federation and the Empire. I doubt he discovered this when he was lost just now, so I feel like he's had this he's had this plan for a while. But it could also lead to destruction or nothing at all.
그래서 결정은 너에게 달려 있는 거야.
The decision is yours.
이건 단지 협력에 대한 내 성의를 보여주는 것뿐이고.
I'm just showing my sincerity for cooperation. Above the firmament, that unfamiliar warp point flickers faintly. It's barely perceptible in the distance. Does anyone else know?
네가 두 번째야.
You're the second person. You trust me that much? She looks at Caleb, but she can't figure out what he's thinking. If I were to make a move against you, I could monopolize this discovery. No one else knows we came here. You'd be turned into cosmic dust. Dang, girl.
정말로 상대방을 죽이고 싶은 사람은 너처럼 상대의 눈을 보면서 말하지 않아.
English is getting rid of all of as many instances anyway as they can of mentions of their relationship. My dear little sister, someone who truly wanted to kill would never look their enemy in the eye and speak the way you're speaking. I need to think about this. English trying so damn hard. They're trying. They're doing their best. Caleb lowers his head. Shadows fall across his brow as the air between them grows thick with tension.
그래.
That's right.
하지만 지금의 성간 상황을 보면
But looking at our
우리에게
current
남은 시간은
situation,
많지 않을 거야.
I'm afraid we don't have much time.
뭘 하든 빨리 해야 해.
Regardless of our decision, we have to move fast. His kiss falls with a fierce intensity. Another kiss! She closes her eyes and allows herself to surrender to his bold transgression. Outside the portal, the nebular storm surges violently once more, its eerie purple light flowing across the glass. The shadow of their intertwined figures is cast. There are many reasons that bind them together. But when they're weighed on a scale, their mutual interests outweigh everything else. I know Caleb doesn't trust her as much as he lets on. Then again, neither does she. You're logging into Genshin on your iPad? Morning light pierces through layering clouds and casts light gray shadows around the massive long-haul vessel. They're arranged in a formation at the center of the square. Faintly trembling from the engine's heat, massive hulls are painted with the emblems of the Empire and the Federation. Around the square, nobles advance slowly within layers of guards, while commoners gather like a tide in the outermost ring. At the highest point of the ceremonial spacecraft, she stands shoulder to shoulder with Caleb. They overlook this performance of peace.
제국과 연방은 연합 함대를 조직하여 첫 번째 비라티오 워프 시범 계획을 시작할 것입니다.
The Empire and the Federation will form a joint fleet. They will begin the first Vilitio warp trial.
별들이 이 자리에서 지켜볼 것이며 이 계획은 순탄한 협력의 길로 나아가 우주에 더 오랜 평화를 가져다 줄 것입니다.
The stars will be our witness to this program as it paves a smooth path toward cooperation. Lasting peace shall last longer in the cosmos. My names are coming up so frequently here. She glances at the nobles below, whose expressions are filled with the most doubt. Then she looks at Caleb, who's beside her. After returning from that trip, she formally considered his suggestion. He proposed that they could start He proposed that they could use Starport number 7 as a springboard to conduct a stable warp drill consisting of a joint escort. It would allow them to test whether Velicio it was stable and while rooting out a few troublemakers who are working behind the scenes.
여왕 폐하, 하 총사령관님, 의식을 완성하러 오시기 바랍니다.
Your Majesty, High Marshal, please complete the ceremony or something. She's just about to step forward when Caleb holds out his hand to her.
같이 안 갈래?
Shall we do this together? This is the first time in 5 years that she's held his hand in daylight. Girl, why do you gotta specify in daylight like that? His warmth travels through their fingers. It's so comforting that it leaves her in a daze. Meanwhile, the scepter she holds remains cold as always. 2 weeks later. According to what Caleb and she agreed upon, he will lead the first phase of the Felicio warp trial. Okay, but how many times have you held hands in the door? I know, right? Oh my god. He'll establish an observation center at Starport number 7 and use the brand new warp point to dispatch fleets in batches. Yet before the first fleet could even depart, the Empire's agents planted at the Starport reported bad news.
연방이 이렇게 빨리 행동을 취할 줄은 몰랐습니다. 7번 스타포트에 주둔한 지 불과 며칠 만에 핑계를 대며 출입구를 봉쇄했습니다.
Yeah, he found a Stargate. I didn't expect the Federation to act so quickly. It's only been a few days since they stationed themselves at Starport number 7, and they've already found an excuse to form a blockade around the area.
우리 쪽 사람들과 원양함이 아직 항구에 묶여 있고 통신도 차단돼서 거의 속을 뻔했습니다.
Our people and long-haul vessel are still being detained. Communications have been cut off as well. They almost tricked us.
연방 사람들은
Sorry, they
신뢰할
completely
가치가
tricked us. Sorry,
없습니다.
they completely tricked us.
애초에 그들과 협력을 논의할 필요가 없었습니다.
The Federation can't be trusted. We never should have entertained the idea of cooperating with them.
이번에 무려 최신 원양함 10대를 투입했습니다.
We've lost 10 of our newest spacecrafts. She's somewhat prepared for the obstacle this plan would encounter, but everything happened so fast that it's catching people off guard. She rubs her brow and questions whether Caleb would make such a short-sighted decision. Perhaps she's unwilling to admit that her desire to believe in him is greater than she previously thought. But everything in the cosmos is constantly changing. The Empire can still afford to pay this price. However, the Federation didn't just defend the Empire. The Lorne Galaxy won't tolerate their repeated provocations. Rapidly calculating the current situation in her mind, the highest priority is to withdraw before public opinion turns against them. Fortunately, I have a backup plan. Stick to the original plan. I will announce that I'm recovering from an illness to temporarily avoid the spotlight. As for the Joint Fleet, it's time to let the Lorne Galaxy know the deployment details around Delicio. The Federation broke the agreement first, so they can't blame us for muddying these waters. With the resolve to distance herself from this mess, she consistently claims she's ill and remains in seclusion for the next 2 weeks. Each day, apart from taking walks in the garden and walking her bit-a-pup, she spends her time in her bedchamber or study. This could truly be called leisurely. Until tonight, that is. As usual, she walks to her bedchamber with the secretary before parting ways. Then she feels something is amiss. The maid seems to be somewhat nervous.
여왕 폐하,
Your Majesty. Did something happen while I was here? Or wasn't here?
같았습니다.
It's the same as usual.
공자께서 일찍이 걸음하셔서 폐하를 매우 존경한다는 조카를 데리고 오셨습니다.
The Duchess visited and brought her nephew who reportedly admires you.
폐하의 분부대로 최근에는 폐하께서 휴식이 필요하셔서 접견이 어렵다고만 말씀드렸습니다.
Following your orders, we said that you need to rest and receiving visitors is impossible. During her recuperation, nobles have already been stirring restlessly behind the scenes. There's also no shortage of those wanting to seize an opportunity to curry favor. Taby is still lying outside the door. They normally bark when they catch a stranger's scent, but today they seem unusually well behaved. I'm overthinking it. She gives a slight nod, and the maids immediately understand. They open the doors to her bedchamber for her. Before the doors are fully open, she catches sight of a familiar outfit. Caleb? Wait, what's happening? Is he kidnapping her? She walks quickly into her bedchamber and dismisses all the maids. Caleb approaches and leans down to remove her cloak. His fingers slowly brush across her cheek. You look terrible. Are you ill? Oh, sorry.
안색이 이렇게 안 좋은데 정말 아픈 거야?
Oh, you look pale, I guess? Are you actually sick? I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I'm eating well, drinking well, and sleeping well. The stress you've caused hasn't given me an actual ailment yet. And you, are you so pleased with the chunk you bit off from the Empire that you made a special trip here to thank me?
나는 정말로 이 일을 해결하러 온 거야.
I'm here to resolve that matter. His overly calm demeanor only makes her more irritated. She turns to avoid his touch. Does the truth behind Felicio matter to us anymore? The last possibility for cooperation has vanished. Our next meeting will be on the battlefield. Oh, dang.
그러니까 넌 정말 날 신뢰하지 않는구나.
So you truly don't trust me. Why would I? Didn't you already receive the price I paid for that trust? 10 long-haul spacecraft. It was very expensive, my dear brother. Oh, they kept an Oppa! They kept one! Oh!
나한테 그런 식으로 말하지 마.
Don't talk to me like that. He's asking to be bid again. Caleb, I'm the Empress of the Cosmic Empire. You're the one who can't address me so casually.
이 일은 다 나한테 맡겨.
I'll give you an explanation.
믿을지 말지는 네가 결정해도 돼.
You can decide whether or not to believe it. Anything else would seem weird to replace Alpha, right? Thank you. I'll be more cautious next time, especially when matters involving you are involved. People are like this sometimes. They know their words are irrational, yet they're unable to stop themselves from saying them. She thought tonight would end on a sour note, but Caleb stayed silent for a moment before looking outside.
난 네 오빠야.
I'm your brother.
날 너무 나쁘게 생각하지는 마.
Don't always assume the worst of me. Did they? At some point, it started raining again. The pitter-patter creates a delicate rhythm against the window frame. There are no other sounds. She turns away, avoiding his gaze that shines with a new emotion. Forget it. I'm not in the mood to play this game with you.
나랑은 안 놀면서 다른 남자랑 노는 건 괜찮아?
What? If you don't want to play with me, would you want to with another man? And then here, another man. What's happening? What's happening? She did not kiss him. It's the other man, I know. She looks towards the sound and sees a rug at the foot of the bed. It's rolled up and the vague outline of a person wrapped inside is visible.
얌전히 굴어.
Behave.
여왕의 침전 창문에서 떨어지는 건 그리 품이 있는 퇴장은 아니니까.
You can't believe a three-way happened. Not yet. A three-way hasn't happened yet, but falling out the window of the Empress's bedchamber can barely be considered leaving with dignity and grace. The rug thrashes more violently. Caleb narrows his eyes and kicks it. The room falls silent once more. I can't believe that I'm keeping track of so much of this plot, because I keep getting sidetracked by the blatant crest. That was harsh.
아쉬워?
Are you regretting it? He grips her chin and forces her to meet his gaze. We don't even talk. Why are you concerned about nothing? I'll send him back later.
저 남자가 여왕의 침대로 오려고 엄청난 공을 들였을 텐데 보지도 않고 반품하려고?
He went through quite the effort to touch the Empress's bed, and you're going to return him without even giving him a glance? Wait a minute, wait! Was the other man actually going to sleep? Never mind, he didn't bring the other man. He came in when the other man was waiting for her, because she was going to bang him, I presume. Another man might be an assassin. That's what I thought at first, but now I'm very confused. He's either an assassin or spy or whatever a male concubine is. There is not enough context clues for this. I am not able to understand.
얼굴은 괜찮은데.
His face is fine, but his body. There's no need for that. Plenty of people like him compete to get closer to me, and there are others with superior physiques. Okay, no, I think he's actually... Oh, wow! Okay! And then Caleb just rolled him up in a rug and threw him out the window. All right. Wow. A low chuckle brushes past her ear as he suddenly grips her wrist. She crashes into his chest.
보아하니 이 요양 기간 동안 동생은 아주 잘 지냈나 보네.
God. Are they gonna do their crest up in front of another man? Wait, they already did throw him. Did they? No, they didn't. He's just almost there. But like, I'm like, I can't believe that they introduced another man at all. The fact that she like sleeps with other men. Do you know what I mean? I think that's kind of cool. Because you usually don't see that. You usually see like the MC is usually very loyal to the the male lead, even if they're not like together. But wow, okay. You just thought he was an assassin? I don't think so, because they kept talking about his body and... Hang on, I think he said little sister again.
보아하니 이 요양 기간 동안 동생은 아주 잘 지냈나 보네.
It seems my little sister has been living quite comfortably during her recovery. Yeah, they're doing the crest in front of another man. He's still there, I think.
이제 내 차례인가?
Isn't it my turn now? Or this is an exception because of the crest. Yeah. They're like, listen, she's not only into her brother. Oh my god. The plot has gotten so wild. The fact that he broke into her room just to find another man waiting for her in bed and rolled him up and then got jealous about it and is now making out with her. This is a crazy sequence of events. Listen, she has so many options. She just keeps going back to Oppa, apparently. The sarcasm doesn't escape as crushed between lips and teeth. His kiss descends like a sudden downpour. Okay, it's over. I closed my eyes. Her body surrenders before her will can resist. For some reason, they seem to crave each other more than usual tonight. Is another man still there? My body surrenders before my will can resist. They're definitely having sex, right? Is the other man still there? Another man, holy heck. Yeah, oh my god, they have to kill him now. He knows too much. Oh my god. What is this sequence of events? They're definitely doing it and getting off on the audience. It's raining again, and maybe, just maybe, they're both tired. This weather is perfect for holding someone close. Or perhaps they finally see the unbridgeable rift that lies between them, yet they're unwilling to accept it. Before everything completely falls apart, they still want to desperately hold on to something.
이번엔 정말 진심이 많이 담긴 목소리네.
Wow, your voice, yeah, is more genuine this time. She glares at him only to earn a more intense response as he presses himself against her. It's an attempt to overwhelm her with an irresistible force. I know they're showing him clothes, but they're clearly having sex, right? Neither of them wants to surrender. She forcibly pushes him and he has to wrap his arms around her as they tumble toward the bed. She presses her knee against his... Never mind. Oh my god, they're actually gonna go into detail about it. I am not ready for this. 100% she's playing Oppa's bongos right now. Oh, he keeps making those faces. She presses her knee. Another man just laying on the ground. I know. She presses her knee against his tense abdomen and looks down as she restrains him beneath the folds of her dress. Where is the fade to black? Yeah, please fade to black. Okay. And then he gasps instead. He holds her waist as his kisses trail down from her chest. The warm, wet sensation settles on her abdomen and sends thrilling shivers through her. I can't believe I used to read romance novels. I can't do this. I guess I never had to read them out loud. They've embraced each other like this countless times before. Thanks for reminding us, MC. Where their bodies are intimately intertwined, and yet their hearts beat on opposite sides of an unreachable chasm.
동생아, 왜 네가 애초에 나에게 이런 일을 같이 하자고 했는지 알겠어.
Did you hear how he started that sentence? He started the sentence with little sister.
넌 모든 걸 가지는데 익숙해져서 받아들이려 하지 않은 거겠지.
Jesus Christ. Hang on. Okay.
동생아, 왜 네가 애초에 나에게 이런 일을 같이 하자고 했는지 알겠어.
I know why you wanted to do this with me from the beginning.
넌 모든 걸 가지는데 익숙해져서
You're used to having
받아들이려
everything,
하지 않은 거겠지.
so you should accept it.
넌 모든 걸 가지는데 익숙해져서 받아들이려 하지 않은 거겠지. 공교롭게도 난 네가 마음대로 장악하고 마음대로 가질 수 있는 존재가 아니라는 걸.
That I'm the one thing that you can't control or claim as yours. But aren't you still in my hands at this very moment? She releases her grip on Caleb's hand and lets her fingers trail downward from his Adam's apple. Her movements carry a hint of the teasing he excels at. A certain thought that has always lingered is about to surface. It's the simplest method, and it could solve all their problems. If I were to capture you and immediately imprison you, without you as their High Marshal, the Federation won't be a threat to the Empire for a very long time.
그것도 방법이긴 하네.
That is one way.
하지만 연방 총사령관의 신분을 박탈당한 하우주가 너한테 무슨 의미가 있는데?
But then what use would Caleb be to you if he wasn't the the Federation's High Marshal? My brother or my lover? Oh my god! I had to cover myself with the blanket for a bit. I can't believe they're making us make this choice! Screenshot? Yeah, I'll take a screenshot. You know what? Yeah, I might use it for that. Good call. I'm titling that Caleb Y. You just write in the middle. Okay, so seriously though, what do we choose? I don't know. I don't know which is the worst answer. Do you know what I mean? I don't know which is the worst answer. There are so many whys. Lover? Okay. Oh my god! You end up with this anyway! I can't believe I have to read this out loud. Another man in the corner, your lover. Hey, he already knew. He's been listening. He's heard everything. You are my You are my brother by blood and my natural born enemy. As long as you bear the name Caleb, I will never feel at ease when I sit on my throne. I'll give you a new identity. Abandon your past and stay where I can see you every day. For example, my bedchamber is the perfect spot.
그러니까 내가 네 비밀스러운 연인이 되었으면 하는 거구나.
So you want me to become your secret
그
lover?
누구도 기억할 수 없는 그림자 말이야.
A mere shadow that no one remembers.
하지만 동생아, 이름과 신분은 그저 겉옷에 불과해.
But my dear little sister, names and identities
네가
are nothing
나에게서
but pieces of
그것들을
cloth.
모두 벗겨내더라도 네가 나를 온전히 믿는 일은 없을 거야.
Even if you strip them from me, you still won't be able to trust me. You read Anaconda? The Anaconda one was not this freaky. You are my brother by blood is crazy. Crazy. Especially right before saying, like, do you wanna be my male concubine? His hand glides along her waist before finally clasping her wrist as he pulls her into his embrace once more.
이게 바로 지금 우리의 처지잖아.
Isn't this our current situation? It's a reminder. Her Caleb isn't a bird that can be caged in a greenhouse's garden. He's someone she can never control. I was talking to myself. This is still the easiest method. Her fingers dangerously wrap themselves around his neck and shake it.
내 머리를 네 소장품으로 만들고 싶은 거야?
You want to turn my head into one of your trophies?
만약 상황이 계속 이렇게 흘러가도록 내버려 두면 넌 정말 그런 기회를 손에 넣을 수 있을 거야.
If I let our circumstances develop naturally, maybe you'll get a chance.
그때
When that time
내가 다른
comes,
사람의 손에 죽지 않게 해줘.
make sure you're the one who kills me.
이것도 내가 너에게 하는 약속이야.
That this is also my promise to you. All right. So they don't resolve anything. They just have sex in front of another man, and then, oh, he's back to making that face. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, he's making that face. I'm scared to press for the next line. In his eyes, she can see herself wearing the same complex smile that's on his face. I don't think of... Okay. Long ago, their hunger for power tore holes in their chests and filled them with cold, ruthless hearts. Caleb and she are prisoners of their heart's lack of mercy. They're merely puppets who are controlled and deceived by them. But perhaps they can still do one thing, one tiny act of resistance. Let's leave future matters to the future. At this moment, I want to feel the warmth of you leave in my body. In your body? Not on your body? I understand this. She takes his hand and guides it to her I know what that means. Oh my god. Okay. He takes her hand and guides it to her warmest depths. As long as we have it to prevent us from being too cold, that's enough. When they embrace, he seemingly wants to embed himself into her very being. I think that's exactly what he wants to do. I think that's exactly what you want him to do. He wants to return to that point in primordial chaos where they had yet to be separated. Where is the fade to black? Their passion isn't born from understanding and trusting each other. Their refusal to be consumed by that horrible emptiness gave rise to it. Intense pleasure and faint melancholy mingle and merge. They wash over them in waves from where they're connected. If this is what love is, then they're in love.
너는 내 동생이잖아.
You're my
우리
little
원래
sister.
서로에게 속해 있어.
We've always belonged to each other.
온 우주를 다 합쳐도 지금 이 순간 네 키스와는 비교할 수 없어.
The cosmos' entirety can't even compare to your kiss right now. They said you. He said little sister. Yeah, this is wild. This is absolutely wild. Where is the fade to black? Why are they still going? Her tongue catches something salty and bitter. Are these her tears? It turns out even tears of joy are still astringent. But does it matter? She's already kissed him. Oh, I think they're finally fading to black. Oh my god. This is wild. This is nuts. I don't have words for what we just read. I can't believe we just read that. The Federation has betrayed us and taken control of multiple starports in the Lorne Galaxy. We know their next target is the Empire. Because we're going to war now. Or was that not Oppa's finger? I think there was definitely more than Oppa's finger. Because I think reading that, they definitely got far. And then he was saying that in the midst of them going at it. That was definitely in the midst of, like, some time had passed. As your Empress, I have the responsibility to allow the Council of Elders to pass the Imperial Emergency Act. This is not a declaration of war. It's to ensure we won't be caught off guard when the crisis truly arrives. Nope, it's war. On the holographic screen, today's speech, in which she announces her recovery and return, plays repeatedly. She gazes at the figure speaking eloquently on the video, yet her thoughts turn to a person who's at the other end of the galaxy. After they parted ways that day, Caleb cleaned up the aftermath at Starport number 7 by himself. She doesn't know what he did, but even the Lorne Galaxy was pacified. The Empire spacecrafts were returned. Caleb packaged this crisis as her victory, and it even earned her a considerable amount of admiration from the nobles. This is his explanation to her, and perhaps the reason she might be able to trust him again. However, they know a cosmos that's about to be ignited cannot be doused by droplets of water. The communication device rings, interrupting her thoughts. I can't believe
요즘 어떻게 지냈어?
they just did it in front of another man. Not too bad, but not too great either. You?
너랑 같아.
Same as you.
전에 아투가
I saw
이 보물
Tebu
정원을 망가뜨려서
I turned up
크게
the precious
여기저기
garden.
튀었었잖아.
There was dirt everywhere.
신선한 성운 해당화를 좀 보냈어.
I sent a fresh batch of
이틀 후에
Nebulasia
도착할 거야.
apples. They'll arrive in a few days. I hope they can survive a little longer under Taby's teeth this time. Speaking of which, they managed to shoe an entire lace trim into my bedchamber's curtains. You want to see the photos?
응. 그래도 너무 응석바지로 키우지는 마.
Sure, but don't spoil them too much. I don't do that. When they're not being mischievous, they're actually adorable. Wow. They chat about everyday matters and make jokes as usual. They avoid mentioning the war. So it is war! It's possible they have nothing left to say to each other once the situation has escalated to this point. This is messy, man. 2 days after the umpteenth border scuffle between the Empire and the Federation, the Nebulasia apples that Caleb sent bloom. Heading Taby, she sits on a bench in the greenhouse garden. This is a rare moment of peace. Suddenly, hurried footsteps resound outside the garden. She turns and sees the serious expression on the secretary's face.
폐하, 비상사태입니다.
Your Majesty, we have an emergency. You mean the story's not over? What more could happen? What more could happen? I am exhausted. It's been an hour and a half and I am exhausted.
7번 스타포트 환승구역에서 폭발이 발생했습니다. 연방은 관련 우주선이 제국의 특별허가 통행 표식을 가지고 있었다고 주장하고 있습니다.
There was an explosion at the Starport number 7's transit zone. The Federation claims that the starship involved bears markings of a transit authorized by the Empire. The sound of rushing water echoes in her ears again, and she sees herself drifting downstream toward the only direction available to her once more.
이미 아련실에서 폐하를 기다리고 있습니다.
The nobles are already waiting for you in the audience hall. Let's go. She pets Taby's fluffy head and stands up to leave. Clutching a flower, they roll around on the grass. Their tail wags as cheerfully as always. Wait, I just remembered the scene where before she went into her bedchamber, the maid was like, and Duchess so-and-so brought her nephew. And I was like, okay, so I guess I don't know why they brought that up. So another man was the Duchess's nephew or something. So he was being offered up sexually to our MC. Oh my God. That's why she was expecting Taby to be more noisy, because it would have been a stranger, but obviously Caleb was inside. Oh my God, I just realized what was happening there. So to curry favor, that's what she meant by currying favor. Currying favor with men. Oh wow. Okay. The war has begun. It happens more easily than expected and is developing rapidly. The situation where two sides are evenly matched changes drastically after the Lorne Galaxy's first batch of long-haul vessels joins the Empire. After a few months, the Federation's decline has become apparent. Okay, so we're winning. She hasn't seen Caleb, and she no longer hears the ringtone that accompanies his calls. But occasionally she will hear his name in the military reports.
폐하, 방금 전해받은 첩보에 따르면 연방 내각이 하우즈에게 압박을 가하고 있으며 그에게 자진 사임할 것을 요구하고 있습니다.
Your Majesty, we've just received intel. The Federation's council is pressuring Caleb, or Haoju. They're demanding him to voluntarily resign.
하지만 하우즈는 강경한 태도를 보이며 곧바로 사람을 보내 밤사이인 몇몇 주요 강요들에게 경고를 했다고 합니다.
But he took an unyielding stance and sent people overnight to warn the leading councilmen.
이틀 전 그는 측근 함대와 함께 연방 수도를 떠났고 현재 행방은 묘연합니다.
2 days ago, he left the Federation's capital with a loyal fleet. His whereabouts are currently unknown. Is he gonna die? Is this one of the ones where they die?
고의로 연막 작전을 펼쳐서 우리의 경계를 늦추려는 의도의 가능성도 있습니다.
It's also possible that the Federation deliberately released this as a smokescreen to make us lower our guard. Let's buy the headlines on the front page. All galaxies will spread this rumor. Either Caleb comes forward to deny it or he lets it become reality. She believes the scales are tipping in her favor, but the sense of achievement accompanying it isn't as great as she expected. Something from the past never died. Even now, it continues to gnaw at her. The void in her heart has become exceptionally vast. It's an emptiness that couldn't be filled even if she possessed the entire cosmos. Oh. After ending another deployment meeting, she returns alone to her bedchamber and falls into deep sleep. In her dream, an indigo wasteland stretches across cosmic dust. Something older than memory summons her. She raises her head and sees the moonlight outlining a familiar figure.
오늘 밤은 유난히 피곤해 보이네.
You look especially
무슨 일
tired
있어?
tonight. Is something wrong? You have the gall to ask. Sorry, you have the gall to ask. I don't know how to read sentences anymore. I am struggling right now. She walks over to sit beside Caleb and leans against his shoulder like when they were children. She feels an unexpected softness. Fortunately, this is a dream. I wouldn't be able to lean on you otherwise.
네가 나한테 기대고 싶을 때, 난 언제나 널 지켜줄 거야.
I'll always protect you whenever you want to lean on me. She shakes her head. You once told me that power is a blade. We must hold it in our own hands. And when you grip the hilt of a blade, you can't dream of embracing another person.
그리고 칼의 사용법은 간단하지.
Using a blade is easy
날카로운 끝으로
or simple.
적을 찌르기만 하면 돼.
You always point the sharp end towards your enemies.
하지만 이제 네 적은 나야.
But your enemy right now is me. You say awful words even in my dream. She hears Caleb laugh as if he doesn't care. Then he wraps his arm around her shoulders to pull her into an intimate proximity.
전쟁은 이미 시작됐어, 동생아.
The war has already begun,
비록
Dongseng.
이게 우리가 원래 원했던 게 아니라 할지라도 말이야.
And this is something we originally wanted. You don't want it either because I'll win this time.
네 마음속에 진정으로 부족한 무언가가 한 번의 승리만으로 채워질 수 있을까?
Can one victory fill that unbearable emptiness in your heart? I don't know. The throne, victory, peace, a greater cosmos, and you. I want everything. She wants truly everything.
몇 달 못 본 사이에 더 당당하게 욕심을 부리네.
We've only been apart for a few months, and here you're already more greedy. You're also at fault. She's notably honest when facing Caleb in her dream. Maybe it's because it's been too long since they talked like this. You're the one who made me think I could obtain everything, and now you won't let me continue having beautiful dreams.
난 지금 네 꿈속에 있잖아.
I'm in your dream right now, aren't I?
나한테 뭐든 하고 싶은 대로 해도 돼.
You can do whatever you want with me.
다만 깨어났을 때 네가 얼마나 기억할지는 모르겠네.
I just don't know how much you'll remember when you wake up. Noticing what Caleb is trying to imply, she pinches his arm. What am I to you?
자존심 세고 욕심쟁이에
A proud,
의심
greedy,
많고
suspicious,
제멋대로고
willful,
가끔은 얄밉기도 하지만
and even detestable at times.
그래도 가장 귀여운 내 동생이지.
Yet the cutest baby sister. Under the vast sky, they sit quietly for a long time. Only the moon's slow descent reminds them of the passage of time. Something soft brushes against her palm. She looks down and sees a blue-gray flower he placed in her hand. It's then that she notices the wasteland is somehow covered in blossoming nebulasia apples. Caleb seems to remember something. Smiling, he stands up. Are you leaving?
곧 꿈에서 깰 것 같아서.
Yeah, the dream is about to end.
꿈에서 깨어나야 비로소 자신의 소원을 진짜로 이룰 수 있어.
We can only make our wishes come true after we wake up. Your wishes. I don't think I even know what they are. It doesn't look like he'll say more. She gives up. Never mind. You're just part of my dream. I can't expect you to answer questions I can't figure out myself.
각자의 궤도를 따라 도는 두 개의 항성은 단 한순간만 교차하더라도 파멸을 불러올 수 있어.
Two stars following separate orbits. Even if they intersect for a moment, it'll bring about destruction.
이게 우주의 규칙이야.
That's cosmic law.
하지만 어쩌면 오랜 세월 끝에 서로를 찾아내고 포옹하는 건 서로의 곁에서 소멸하기 위해서가 아닐지도 몰라.
But it's possible that after seeking and embracing each other for eons, their attraction might not necessarily be for mutual destruction. He's still trying to make sense of his cryptic words when he turns around. He walks towards the edge of the wasteland where the moon has fallen. He wants to catch up with Caleb, but she steps into empty air and rapidly falls. Before her consciousness drifts away, she hears his voice again. It's more distant.
내 소원이 궁금하지 않아?
Aren't you curious about my wishes?
나는 이 우주의 규칙이 내 의지로 인해 변하길 원해.
I want the rules of this cosmos to change according to my will. I like that the crest is honestly just a side thing, like to them, like within universe. Remember, she did a play where she played his lover for her coronation. When she wakes up, moonlight filters through the lattice window and falls next to her pillow. Looking at her empty hand, she feels disoriented. It seems someone once gently, tenderly held them for a long time. Even now, warmth still lingers. We're not done. Lone Galaxy 2 weeks later. Time passes silently, and the shadow of war still looms over the major galaxies. Inside the reception hall and in front of a massive panoramic glass wall, starship models are displayed like constellations. Nearby, Phelan, a representative from the Lorne Galaxy, taps a hologram to give the sales pitch for this batch of brand new starships.
이건 세 번째 함정의 설계알입니다. 여왕폐하께서 승인해 주신다면 저희는 즉시 다음 단계 생산에 착수할 수 있습니다.
This is the design for the third batch. If Your Majesty approves, we can immediately begin the next round of production. There's no need to hurry. Currently, losses from the Imperial starship battles are lower than expected. I'll give you a contract that our strategists redrafted later. Phelan pauses, and the hologram on the glass wall slightly trembles in response.
알겠습니다.
I understand.
여왕폐하!
Your Majesty. Without waiting for the guards outside, her secretary bursts into the reception hall. She's unable to hide her excitement.
연방 총사령관이 직접 이끄는 함대가 알로르 은하에서 갑작스럽게 사고를 당한 것 같습니다.
The fleet led by the High Marshal encountered an emergency in the Allure Galaxy.
비록 아직 원인은 밝혀지지 않았지만 그들은 제국 모성 경내에 불시착하는 걸 택했습니다.
Oh my god. The cause is currently unknown, but they chose to make an emergency landing within Imperial territory.
저희가 대략적인 위치를 추론해냈고 현재는 수색 범위를 세 곳으로 좁혔습니다.
We've already calculated their approximate location and narrowed it down to 3 sites. Phelan immediately stands up and bows respectfully.
축하드립니다. 여왕.
Congratulations, Your Majesty.
연방 총사령관이 홀로 제국 경내에 떨어지다니 이건 정말 좋은 신호입니다.
The High Marshal has crashed into the Empire's territory. This is an excellent opportunity.
만약 폐하께서 직접 제거하라고 명하신다면 앞으로는 아무도 감히 폐하의 통치에 의문을 제기하지 않을 겁니다.
If the Empress gives out the order to execute him, no one will dare to question Your Majesty's reign. Oh, since when have Lorne's denizens started caring about the matters between the Empire and the Federation? I thought you'd be happier to see this conflict continue. After all, you still have plenty of high-quality goods worth selling.
그 연방 총사령관은 항상 독단적이고 제멋대로 행동했죠.
The High Marshal has always been despotic and recklessly willful.
전 그저 여왕 폐하께 조언을 드리는 것뿐입니다.
I'm merely
그가
suggesting
폐하의 손아귀에서
쉽게 벗어나도록 둬서는 안 된다고
I'm
말이지.
merely offering a suggestion. Do not let him easily escape your control. She remains noncommittal, her gaze sweeping past Balin to land on the secretary waiting nearby. Find them. Before I give the order, no one is permitted to attack.
폐하의 뜻을 받들겠습니다.
I shall do as you wish. She nods in acknowledgement, her fingers tapping the table surface. Out of the corner of her eye, she catches a fleeting shadow of displeasure across Balin's face. Ever since the Interstellar Starfaring Summit was held, the people of the Lorne Galaxy have been somewhat dissatisfied with Caleb. But obvious attempts at sowing discord are a first. Did their patrons become impatient? The Lorne Galaxy may have never been truly neutral, but she has no intention of exposing their schemes to use her as their weapon for now. At this moment, she's more concerned about Caleb's situation. Notify the command ship. We're departing for our home planet. Warping sounds. The command ship traverses through the dark cosmos. Stars streak past at light speed as if the entire world is disappearing behind her. She thinks she has too many things to ask him after 6 months. In what capacity should I meet you this time? Oh! Cutscene! I forgot that we get cutscenes for these cards. I hadn't even... This is a long story. Go find him. Okay. The Federation is dead, and the stars will only remember one person's name. Give up, my dear brother. This is so long. I know, it's so long!
내가 널 위해 대관식 선물을 가져왔어.
But I brought you a gift for your coronation.
제국과 연방은 우리가 서로를 죽이길 바라.
Our nations want us to kill each other,
하지만 그들은 몰라.
but they don't know. Oh! Oh!
너와 난 같은 근원에서 태어났고 애초부터 영혼이 얽혀 있다는 걸.
We're born from the same source. Our souls are intertwined. Okay. Oh, only on the condition, blah blah blah. Oh! Assess the situation. What do you mean? Caleb. Wait, where'd he go?
야망은 있어도 아직 양심을 버리진 않았네.
You may have ambition, but haven't lost conscience. Dang. Okay, that's pretty cool.
죽음을 자취한
So you're looking for death.
이제 우리가 휴전 조건에 대해 이야기할 차례야.
Now let's discuss the terms. Negotiate. Caleb, what do you want?
너.
You.
하지만 내일 이후론 넌 이제 나만의 것이 아니게
But after
되겠지.
tomorrow, you won't belong to just me anymore. Take it back. This is mine. Oh! Suppress him? You need to find a way to fill up my ambition. The vocabulary they are using, man.
그럼 이걸 맹세로 삼아.
Then let's
우리의
make a
족쇄를
solemn
다시
vow.
맺자.
We'll forge our shackles anew.
우리는 함께 그 운명이라는 걸 죽일 거야.
And we will kill that thing called fate together. I don't understand. On the throne, Caleb and she rest in each other's embrace. The dust has settled and only wisps of smoke rise above parts of the ruins. Imperial generals have regained control of the situation, and it's not hard to track down the forces that tried to sabotage their negotiations. Those who want to profit from it will pray for the war to never end. It's not just Lorne, though. The Empire and the Federation have no shortage of such people. They're only more covert about it.
맞아.
That's right.
안타깝게도 그들은 목표를 잘못 골랐어.
Too bad they picked the wrong
아무리
targets.
노력해도 소용없지.
No matter how hard they try, it won't work. It almost did. She didn't trust you. Caleb rotates his wrist and spreads out several encrypted documents. He taps them, and a series of terms appears in the air. Raising an eyebrow, she leans in to get a good look at the documents. Phelan drafted them and added enticing language and generous terms. They even promised you Lorne's entire shipbuilding capacity for the next 10 years. You weren't tempted?
이미 가장 원하는 협력자가 있었기 때문에 아쉽지만 그들을 거절할 수밖에 없었어.
Because I already had the ally that I wanted the most, I had no choice but to turn them down.
비록 동생은 협력하던 중에 날 버렸지만 난 전혀 신경 안 써.
Even though my little sister abandoned me halfway through our collaboration, I won't hold a grudge. They keep referring to it. There's no shame at all. Maybe Crest is just allowed. Like in Love and Deepspace Star Wars. He's referring to the Valicio incident. She claimed to be sick halfway through while providing intel to the Lorne Galaxy. She supposes she caused him some troubles at the time, but that's in the past now. There's nothing they can't discuss. I couldn't have guessed you detected someone was planning to bomb the starport, so you decided to strike first. In any case, the situation was unclear at that time. I wouldn't put my crown at risk.
생각났다. 그래서 상황을 안정시키자마자 널 만나러 온 거였지.
I figured as much, and I did visit you as soon as I stabilized the situation. Absolutely no shame and no fate to black, yeah.
오늘 밤의 너처럼.
You did the same thing tonight. Or just like you did tonight. His expression-free of accusation stirs a sense of guilt that's been dormant for a long time. She gently links her arm with his. Be honest, didn't you think you might die if I hadn't arrived in time? What if the others persuaded me and I decided to kill you? He doesn't answer her question. He only lowers his head to kiss her hair with a familiar intimacy.
그 워프 지점 기억나? 비라티오. 우리가 함께 세웠던 계획이잖아.
Do you remember the warp
나는
point,
여전히
Valicio?
믿고 있었어.
Our joint plan?
그게 어떤 정해진 규칙들을 바꾸고 우리를 또 다른 미래로 이끌 수 있을 거라고.
I still believe that it can change certain established rules and lead us to a different future.
여왕 폐하께선 어떻게 생각해?
What do you think, Your Majesty? Three months later.
제국과 연방은 합의를 이루어 100년 상호 맹약을 다시 체결했습니다.
The Empire and the Federation have reached a consensus and renewed the Centennial Mutual Assistance Treaty.
비라티오 탐사 계획 또한 다시 귀족 의회와 연방 내각에 상정되어 논의될 예정이며
The exploration plan regarding Valicio will also be resubmitted for deliberation by the Noble Assembly and the Federation's Council.
여왕 폐하,
Your Majesty, High Marshal,
하총사령관님, 여기에 손금을 누르시면 됩니다.
you may place your hands here. So I know that this is just like an inauguration of their plan or something like that, but it looks like a wedding ceremony. Caleb and she step forward together and solemnly place their hands on the treaty. It's 100% a wedding. A ring of blue light spreads and ripples outward like starlight before settling into the profound silence. No! We avoided profound for so long. It hasn't shown up once. I'm triggered. But the cosmos abides by one truth. It will forever exist in unrest and chaos. Tranquility is only temporary. But they'll leave those headaches for their future selves. At this moment, she feels an unprecedented sense of satisfaction filling her chest. Doesn't this feel like we're exchanging vows? They said the quiet part out loud! I cannot.
미리 알았으면 반지를 준비했을 텐데.
If I had known, I would have prepared rings.
만약 우리가 지금 맹세를 교환하면 제국의 고리타분한 인간들이 깜짝 놀라 비명을 지르겠지.
Okay, hang on.
만약 우리가 지금 맹세를 교환하면 제국의 고리타분한 인간들이 깜짝 놀라 비명을 지르겠지.
Okay. If we were truly exchanging vows, the old guard in the Empire would throw more than just one tantrum. You care about that? Maybe we'll never be able to stand beside each other in such a way. His voice is quiet, yet it's clear. It feels as if he's whispering directly into her ear.
어릴 때부터 지금까지
Ever since I was
내가
young,
하고 싶었던 일은 반드시 해내야 했고
I've always accomplished what I set out to
선택한
do.
길은 아무리 불가능해 보여도 계속 걸어가야 했어.
I always see the path I've chosen through to the end.
하지만 네가 처음으로 나에게 키스했을 때 나는 의외로 기뻤어.
And when you kissed me for the first time, I was happy. The officiant is literally standing. There's always a person there witnessing this, probably going like, what the fuck? The officiant is literally standing there. I don't care how softly he's talking. The officiant can hear too. If you can hear it, the officiant can hear it too. I am crying.
다행히도 내겐 귀여운 동생이 있고 그녀는 나와 같은 마음이구나.
That's a very literal translation. I want to talk about that, okay? Dude, they didn't just say the quiet part out loud. They yelled it from the altar. Yes. Okay, so English says, I'm lucky I have such a sweet baby sister. Her heart is just like mine. In Korean, 같은 마음이 means I feel the same way that you do. Like it's like used when you agree with somebody or when you have the like feelings for each other, right? So more accurately, I have such a cute younger sister, and she feels the same way I do. So this was his thought when she kissed him for the first time. No shame at all. No shame. You were mid Genshin song combo. You couldn't scream. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Oh my god.
그때부터 나는 더 이상 외롭지 않았어.
Ever since then, I've never felt lonely. Caleb and she were once at opposite ends of the same fuse, but now all of that is behind them. The cosmos will forge ahead unscathed. In the Empire, Caleb's name no longer symbolizes danger and destruction. Rather, it will be the most gentle, romantic footnote of this era. Caleb, the Federation's High Marshal, the Empress's big brother, former enemy and lifelong beloved, second only to the Cosmic Empire. Someday, she thinks she'll agree to let someone delete that small text in parentheses. Wow. She just said that she loves him more than the Cosmic Empire. After all, the life they'll experience together will be a long one. So, what did we just witness? They're playing the pulling song for this too. So, the first route where you choose to try to kill Caleb, it's in episode 1. Like, you get that choice right away, and you get to a very quick bad ending, which is called Perfect Opposites. The other ending is called Crowning Together. So that was a thing that we just did. That was a story that we just played. Oh my god. I don't have words or thoughts anymore. Mine completely empty. A crest wedding. Yeah, they ended. Pull Song Forever became their wedding song. Yeah, so it ended on a wedding. So happy ending, I suppose. There were many moments where they could have faded to black and they did not. They had sex in front of another man. Literally called another man. That was funny. I do think that was funny. Did he actually appear in her dreams? Do you think that was just her dream, or do you think he was really there? I don't even know. I don't understand the cosmic laws of this universe. But we're done. My confusion will persist, to be honest. I don't think my confusion is gone. I don't think I was prepared for how little they cared about the crest. Like, in my mind, I was like, oh, they're gonna make it like really forbidden. But like, the crest wasn't even the main reason for the conflict. The crest was fine, if anything. It wasn't like they were vying for the same spot, like on the throne, you know? It was just more like a Romeo and Juliet situation. But if Romeo and Juliet were also related. I have so many and yet so few things to say. I'm just done. We're done.